Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Catching Up with the GMs. And today I have a very special guest alongside me. It is everyone's favourite Division A gamer in Thijs from the European Grandmasters region. How you doing, Thijs?
I'm happy you said the Grandma or like the Group A player. I'm very happy about it.
Yeah. Good. So first off, I have a very, very important question that needs answering before we get into anything else. For the uninitiated, can you just explain to us what Swag Thijs is?
It started with a bit of a meme on my stream. It actually came from my fiance, who like had the idea to just on a random day put me glasses on and the hat on. And from there on, it became kind of meme on the stream where sometimes if I just had a lucky play or a lucky 20% thing, I just put it on. After that, people called redeem it on my stream as well. And now I'm just like, when I'm just feeling it, I'm like, yo guys, what up?
Okay, that makes sense. Do you have like an enormous like top end reward that people can redeem so you have to be Swag Thijs for GM? Is that a thing?
Once I did a bet, I was like, okay guys, if I'm gonna make top 8 this week, I will put on one game at least Swag Thijs. And I've gambled that he will play the Priest first. So I went for it became a Priest Mirror, and I was like, well, let's make the Priest Mirror more enjoyable. So I was like, that's a perfect game for Swag Thijs. But it was kind of hard to go the whole game in the Priest Mirror with the sunglasses. It was actually hard.
I can imagine. Well, anyway, thank you. You clearly appreciate that those priest mirrors do need a bit of spicing up. So thank you for the effort. But we will move on, I guess, just to GM as a whole. We were just talking a little bit about how you miss doing these interviews. We miss doing these interviews. So we haven't really had a chance to catch up throughout the whole of 2020 GM. So why don't you just sort of like recap for us like your feelings on season 1 and now the beginnings of season 2 as well?
Yeah, I really miss these interviews. I think they were always like very personal. You could like at least do your saying. I think people love it as well. For me, season 1, I ended up in Division B, quite in a bit of an unlucky way, where I finished, I think, 10th, and my win rate was really good over the 3 weeks. I got twice in the top 8, but I twice dropped at 6th place, and then the last week, the points just didn't go my way. So I felt really good because I was winning quite some, but at the end, the points, I just got in the Division B. From there on, it was a struggle. I think at the start, I was a bit struggling, or I was definitely not like at the top par, a bit in the middle or the middle bottom. So that was really, really tough because there was so much on the stake for just the few matches we played in that division. Ended up that at least the last 1 or 2 games I won, and I ended up in I think 5th place. So it was like I had to play for relegation. I beat Hunter Ace in the relegation. I prepared a lot. In general, I think what people don't see is that I actually have been preparing a lot more this year for GM than I did before. I've just been enjoying competing a bit more again, or like I've always enjoyed it, but some additional motivation this year again. And also this season, I was very motivated. I wanted to do well. I put definitely way less streaming hours in. And I'm just very happy how I did. I mean, I got 3 times in the top 8. I think I have a very well-deserved spot now in the Group A.
Yeah, completely agree. It's great seeing Thijs back. It's interesting you talking about how you felt more motivated to compete this time around, because that's something I actually wanted to ask you about. Obviously, you've been competing at a very, very high level for a very long time now, and a lot of like your peers from like way back in the day have either left the Hearthstone scene or they're just more focused on streaming now and entertaining. Or some of them are playing Battlegrounds or whatever else. Like, what is it that drives you to keep being like a top tier standard constructed Hearthstone player?
Just a competitive part. I'm in general a very competitive person. Also, I really enjoy like streaming. Like there's nothing better than starting the day, just jam a few games, have a lot of fun with people. But besides that, I also still want to show that I am one of the best, or at least show that I am like very good at the game. And that GM is just the best place for that. Ladder as well. It's amazing when I'm top 10 or top 20 legend or something, but it doesn't give me any satisfying moment. And that GM does that more to me. I also think the competition, the meta, I feel that I have way more influence again in the game, even though there's still here and there a lot of things going on. I definitely feel the better player wins more often now than the not better player. So I'm just I feel way more in that comfortable zone as well. Also was very happy with the Master Tour, of course, where I got in the top 4 playing at the most horrible hours at 2 and 3. I have no idea why I signed up, but it also worked out really well. So I've just been really enjoying competition. I think it's always a bit of a mood. Like, I don't want to compete everywhere, but sometimes I just really have that like enormous drive where I just want to like compete.
Right. You're talking about how you still want to prove yourself as a top tier player. It's interesting to me because I'm curious, because you kind of are one of the few people I think that can answer this. Is that, do you think the level of play among like the pro community, among like competitive play, is higher now than it was when, say you were European champion? Like, do you think the skill cap of the game has got higher? Do you think the average like pro player is better now at the game than they were back then?
The average player is so much better now. It's like in 2015, 2016, I was like, that were my best years. I was so much better than others very often, not every time, but like then in a lot of cases. But now I feel I have improved some, but not that much. And others, I mean, people get so good at the game so fast now. Of course, you also have all the tools like tracker, stats, deck lists, like they're so easy accessible. In 2015, you were just only sharing your stats with 3 people, 4 people, and you were collecting stats. And now everything is out in one day. If there's one day a deck hit rank 1 legend somewhere, people know about it, and people also just got much better at the game. But I think that is just something with like the game was very young, and now the game is much older, so people are like, you cannot do as many fresh things that you could do in like 2016.
Right. Do you ever go back and like watch any of your old matchups from like 2015, 2016 and be like, oh my god, that's such a huge misplay. Why did I do that? Why was I so stupid back then?
You think I was that stupid in 2016? No, but I have watched back some moments, and like, for example, the people still message me sometimes about the match against Osaka, the 2015 World Championship semi-final. I mean, that was amazing. If you now watch back the game, there's like, at that moment, that game was so good. If you will now watch it back, maybe it's not as flashy anymore, but that moment, that game, it was so good. And it's just amazing. Like, I get the feelings back as well of playing there, of the audience, of everything. So yeah, it definitely puts like some very, very awesome memories of the very young Thijs I see there.
So I want to get back to sort of current GM. Obviously, you said this was a better season for you. You're in Division A. That was a big goal of yours. It made you happy. I talked to you a little bit a few days ago about your practice group and how it feels like the practice group in general is doing incredibly well, and there's multiple people in Division A. So do you want to just tell people like who it is that you prep with, and how much of an impact that's having on your play? Yeah,
so I've been practicing with RDU, Casey, and Bunny Hopper. We have been practicing S4 for I think the last 1.5 years, kind of since GM started. Somewhere season 1 we started, and I mean, I always have kind of a little issue with practice partners because I don't like too much when I feel I don't learn enough in my practice games. So I feel I can only practice with very few people that I feel I learned something. I really learned something. And I think now I have we have the perfect group. I also don't want more people. I think it's perfect. I respect all the 3 players. I mean, RU I practice already very long with, and Bunny and Casey as well. They're very good understanding. They also really appreciate my input, even though they know I'm really busy with maybe streaming or this and a lot of side things. I still have a very strong view on the game, or a very strong view about decks, or if this is popular. Like, a lot of experience also carries in, I think. So I still think I also have a very good input, and also in general, like, even though maybe not as practicing as them that much, I still practice also a lot for these things. So I think we just fit each other really well as personality as well. So I'm just very happy that, we all 4 made it in the top 8. So it's kind of going to be only team kill. I don't know how we're going to practice now, but I'm very happy we all 4 made it.
Yeah, and on that note, I don't know if you've seen, but week 1, the schedule is out, and your matchups are against Casey and Bunny Hopper in week 1. So, like, how's that going to work? Is Casey going to hide all of the good decks from you in practice now,
if I play against both, I'm not going to practice with them. I don't want to practice against the people that I played that week, especially when it's 2. I will ask Radu very kindly, but if he's like, I need some really good practice with them, then we take it 1 week for ourselves. But I'm after that week. I'm actually happy it's week 1. So then the other weeks we don't have that issue.
All right, sounds good. I think we are just about ready to wrap this up. So unless you have any final words you want to throw out there, Thijs?
No, thanks to all the viewers. You are always very supportive in the chat as well. I am there as well. Sometimes I read your messages. I'm just very thankful for all the support and all the cheering that definitely always keeps the drive going for me.
Oh, thank you, Thijs. If you guys at home want to see more of these interviews, if you're looking for live action from Grandmasters, from the Masters Tour, you can check all of that out on our YouTube page at youtube.com/Hearthstone Esports. If you need any information about the Grandmasters program or about the very soon upcoming Masters Tour event, you can find out all the information you need at playhearthstone.com/esports. This has been Catching Up with the GMs. I've been Sottle. That's been Thijs. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon.